So now we'll go to another important concept. Precedence graphs for testing serializability of a schedule. Precedence graphs for testing serializability of a schedule. What do you mean by serializability of a schedule? Say I have a schedule and this schedule has got so many different transactions. Transaction T1, T2, T3, and the steps in the transactions are interleaved. Like I'll execute some steps in T1, I'll execute some steps in T2, I'll execute some steps in T3, then T2, then T1. So there is an interleaving of operations of these transactions in the schedule. What do you mean by serializability? Serializability says whether running the transactions in this manner, in the interleaved manner, is correct. If you're going to run a set of transactions in a schedule like this and still you're going to get the correct results, then you say the schedule is serializable. What is meaning of serializability? I have a schedule, I have a set of transactions, I'm interleaving the operations and running it. At the end, I'm getting the correct stable state or the correct result. Then I can say that schedule is serializable. For instance, if you have a schedule like what we have seen in the last diagram, this is also a schedule. I have a set of interleaving operations. When I run this, at the end, I am getting incorrect results. So this schedule is not serializable. You cannot run the transactions like this. So for us, the question is, given a schedule, how will you say whether you can run it parallelly or not? So for that, we are going to use precedence graphs or serializability graphs. So what is our objective in this session is to check if a schedule containing transactions in an interleaved fashion is correct. Okay, here is the schedule with all the transactions in an interleaved manner. Will it give me the correct result? For that check, how we will verify that is we'll construct a graph, and using that graph very well we can say whether this schedule is correct or not. So that graph is called a precedence graph or a serializability graph. So we'll go and see how to construct this graph. So even before constructing that graph, we have to understand certain terms and terminologies. What is a no conflict operation? Say in this schedule, say I'll call the schedule as I have two transactions T1 and T2, and T1 is reading X, T2 is reading X. Both the transactions say it is reading and summing up or doing something. So when it is just a read between two transactions, and these two transactions access the same item X. So what is that concept here? Two transactions are accessing the same item and they are performing only a read operation. Then you say that is no conflict operation. What is no conflict? Two transactions access the same item X and they perform only read. Then you say that is no conflict. There is no conflict. Conflict operations. Two transactions again T1 and T2 in a schedule access the same item X, but one of them is a write operation. So then in that case we say these two operations are conflicting operations. When two transactions work on the same item, one is a read and one is a write, definitely that will be a conflict. So what is a conflict operation? Definitely one of the operations should not be a write. So it can be read write, write is again conflict, or write read, again this is conflict. What is non-conflict? Read is non-conflict. So constructing precedence graphs. So for each transaction in your schedule, you are going to go and create a node. That is step one. So I will go and construct precedence graphs. We'll see that. So we have a schedule given here. This schedule is S for each transaction. Say I have TI and TJ, two transactions. The first step is create nodes like this, TI and TJ in your graph. Okay, that is step one. Step two of the algorithm says this. If a transaction Tj is reading an item, after another transaction Ti writes it. What does that mean? So this is transaction Ti, this is transaction Tj. Tj and Ti is accessing item X. Tj is reading an item that is written by transaction Ti. If a transaction Tj is reading an item after another transaction Ti writes it. Then what we have to do is, we have already our two nodes. From Ti to Tj, we have to construct an edge. So this is how you construct an edge. Why we construct an edge here? Tj is reading an item written by Ti. And what item it is reading? X. So you have to denote that X also here. So if you have in your schedule and relationship like this, then you have to construct an edge like that. Step 3, we should also look for this. Earlier, what is that we are looking at? This guy is writing, this guy is reading. Now it is the vice versa. What is that? This guy will be reading, this guy will be writing. So if you have a relationship like this, say TJ is writing an item which was read by TI earlier. So just the vice versa. Even then, what you have to do is you have to construct an arc. If you have a thing like this, you have to construct an arc from TI to TJ. And then you have to mention X. So what we have understood in the two steps is, let it be write and read, you construct an arc. Let it be read and write, you construct an arc. So whenever there is a conflicting operation happening, you construct an arc. The third step is very simple. When there is two writes, Tj is writing, Ti is also writing. Say the arc goes from Ti to Tj because Tj comes later on in time in the schedule. So you're going to have a relationship like this and X mentioned. So if you have read and write, and the timeline is like read happens first, write happens next. This is transaction Ti, this is transaction Tj. You're going to construct an arc like this. Suppose you have another write happening here. Say from Tj to Ti, there is a write, there is a write. So what we have to do? From Tj to Ti, you have to construct an arc and you have to say which item it is. Finally, step 5 says, if there is a cycle in your graph, say it's a directed graph. If there is a cycle in your graph, the schedule is not serializable, the schedule is not correct. So let us now take an exercise, and I want you to tell me whether this schedule is serializable or not. Whether the schedule is correct or not using precedence graphs. Can you construct the graph and tell me? Whether the schedule is serializable or not. The question will be, using precedence graphs, check whether the schedule is serializable. What is step 1? For every transaction in our schedule, we'll create a node. So Ti, Tj. Next thing is, we are going to start looking for whether a read and write conflict operation is happening. Say these two transactions are reading X, reading Y. So that is actually no conflict, reading different items and just a read. Whereas this is reading X and this is writing X. So there is a conflict here. And this is happening later on in time. So it should be an arc from Ti to Tj. On what item it is actually working on? X. So you have to just put this up. You also see there is a read operation of Y happening here, whereas again on Y there is a write operation happening in Ti. So again there is a conflict here, and Ti writes it later on in time. So what we have to do is we have to have an arc pointing from Tj to Ti on which item? Y. Is this clear? Because you have a conflicting operation read and write on Y, and since Ti writes the item after Tj has read it, we'll have this arc, and how it is depicted in your graph like this. So you see that this is a cyclic graph. You have a cycle here. So once when you have a cycle, you can very well say the graph contains cycle, the schedule is not serializable. Very simple. You're going to give me the answer for this. Tell me whether the schedule is serializable or not. What do you mean by serializability? Whether the schedule will give me the correct results or not. You have to use precedence graphs and check that. Can you check that? So how many transactions you have here? 3 transactions. So for each transaction you create a node. So this is for T1, T2 and T3. three transactions, three nodes. Now we'll start with T3. T3 starts first. So there is a write of Y. Is there a conflict anywhere with T2? There's a read of Y. So there is a conflicting operation happening here, and T2 happens later on in time. So there should be an edge between T3 and T2. You agree? Say you have any conflicting operations of T3 with T2, so you have a read of Z, the same item Z is written here. So there is a conflict, read and write. And this is happening later on in time when compared to this. So there should be an edge between T3 to T2 and which item? Z. So actually it means you should have an edge here from here to here. Already you have an edge denoted. So what you can do is you can just denote Z also. So we are done with T3 and T2. Is there anything between T3 and T1? You have a W3 of Y here and you have a read of Y. So both of them are accessing Y, but one is a write operation, so conflict. And this is happening later, so you should have an edge between T3 and T1. So T3 and T1 on which item? Y. Is there any conflicting operation between T2 and T1? This guy is working on read of Y and this guy is also doing a read of Y. This is no conflict, so we are not worried. What about R1 of Y and W2 of Z? These two guys are accessing two different items, so again there is no conflict. So finally a graph is done. Is there a cycle in this graph? There is no cycle, so the schedule is serializable. So I have these are exercises from your textbook, Fundamentals of Database Management Systems. So in the exam, they may give you a set of schedules, ask you to check whether the schedule is recoverable or non-recoverable. They may give you a schedule and ask you to check whether the schedule is serializable or non-serializable using precedence graphs. You can take this exercise. I will share these slides with you.